Florida requires that windows and doors be designed to resist hurricane force winds and impacts from storms, primarily in the coastal areas of Florida. And so we are directly involved with supplying products that meet the code requirements in these areas. Our code compliance department, that's the department that I manage, we are responsible for all of the product certifications for our products. In order to demonstrate compliance with the building code, we are required to provide engineering documentation for each of the products that we manufacture. And prior to having the documentation, we have to have those products tested to meet the impact codes and also to meet wind pressure designs for the products in order to meet the building code requirements. One of the things we do here at PGT is we test all of our products before we certify them. We have a test lab that's actually just down the road from us that we have access to test our products in an R&D fashion prior to certifying them. And that allows us to make sure that we have the proper design in the products to make sure that they can meet or exceed these codes. An NOA is a notice of acceptance, and what it is, it's actually a local product approval that's developed by Miami-Dade County. In their building department, they have a group of engineers that do nothing but review product approvals from manufacturers throughout the state and throughout the country. So they require that any certification documents that are submitted by a manufacturer, they require that document to be signed and sealed by a Florida-registered professional engineer. They also require all of the testing that's done to support that product to be reviewed and signed and sealed by a Florida professional engineer separate from the manufacturer. And then they have their own professional engineers that further review those documents. So when you get a notice of acceptance from Miami-Dade County, you can be assured that it's been reviewed multiple times by multiple professional engineers, and it's a very robust document. Most, if not all, of our products hold a Miami-Dade notice of acceptance, or NOA. We pride ourselves in having the more robust notice of acceptance for those. In 1992, after Hurricane Andrew hit South Florida, the Miami-Dade and Broward County building officials got together and they wanted to develop stronger codes to protect their homes in their areas. And one of the areas that they looked at was envelope protection of homes. So there were a lot of cases where windows were blown out and hurricane force winds entered the homes, so they wanted to do something to stop that. PGT was instrumental in working directly with Miami-Dade County in developing some of the impact codes. We also worked to develop one of the first impact-resistant window NOAs with Miami-Dade County. We emphasize the importance of passive protection, and that is when you have an impact window or door installed in your home, you don't have to do anything to prepare for the storm. You don't have to go outside and put up shutters. You don't have to put up plywood. You can just leave your windows as they are. You'll be able to see through them, and there's no active preparation for a storm. And that's helpful, especially for homeowners that are transitional. We have a lot of snowbirds in Florida that have homes that maybe they're down here for the winter, and then they go home somewhere up north for the summer, and they're not here when a hurricane strikes. One of the tests that we are required to do for these products is a impact test, and that test requires that we actually fire a 2x4 missile out of an air cannon at 50 feet per second, or 34 miles per hour, directly at the window. It impacts the glass and also some of the framing members on the window itself. And so what this does is simulates windborne debris that might be flying around in a hurricane. If a product is not designed to resist the impacts, the window can shatter, which allows hurricane force winds to get into the building and pressurize the building. The way the products are designed is the glass is composed of two pieces of glass separated by a plastic interlayer. And that's kind of creates a sandwich where you have the two pieces of glass encapsulating this plastic interlayer. And what that does is when the missile impacts the window, it breaks the glass, but the plastic will hold the glass together. So after the window is impacted by flying debris or by our test missiles, we are required to subject the windows to air pressure tests. So we have to test the window to about 9,000 pressure cycles, positive and negative pressures. So it actually breathes in and out as the wind is being applied to the product. And this is to simulate a hurricane after it's been impacted. And the idea is that piece that's broken where the missile hit it can tend to open up. And so the test actually requires that opening does not exceed a dimension of about 1/16 of an inch by 5 inches long. If it tears more than that, then it's a failure. And the idea there is to prevent the winds from entering the home and pressurizing it. We also are required to perform water resistance testing on our windows. So we actually take a window and we spray water on the window while applying a pressure simulating wind pressure that's being applied on the window. We can't have a leak inside the window that crosses the inner plane of the window. So basically we might have water sitting on the sill or some type of thing like that, but it can't go into the building. We go to all the Florida Building Commission meetings and work with industry partners to implement building codes that make our homes safer. And another thing that we're involved with is we're directly involved with standards development. So we work directly with ASTM standards development and also an organization known as FGIA. It's the Fenestration and Glazing Industry Alliance. And they develop a lot of the testing requirements for windows and doors as well. And so we have personnel on staff that attend all of these industry meetings, and we're very instrumental in developing these codes and making sure that we have safer homes in Florida.